Hello and welcome, courageous Capricorns. My name's Rose Smith and I'm here to do your July 2019 horoscopes. Thanks so much for joining me today, wherever you are in the world. Well, wowee, what a big month we all have, and especially you, dear courageous Capricorns. It will require some courage because there's a lot of change around you in the month of July and over the ensuing 6 months up to the end of the year. So normally I know you like to be kind of stable and structured, but think of it this way, as this is the opportunity for growth, the opportunity to broaden your horizons and realize there's so much more to life as you start a new chapter in your book of life. Okay, so we have two new moons on the 2nd and the 31st, new starts there for you. If you're in Australia and New Zealand, it's the 3rd and the 1st of August, okay? Those new moons are in Cancer and Leo, so not sort of affecting you in a huge way. But then we have the two eclipses, which is all about transformation and a lot of growth, the opportunity for you to really turn a corner there. And those are on the solar eclipse is on the 2nd of the month and the lunar eclipse is on the 16th, and they are in Cancer and Capricorn. So the lunar eclipse will bring up particularly a lot of stuff to deal with. Mercury Retrograde in Leo and Cancer also. So, that always is an interesting time. So on the 2nd and the 3rd of the month, the new moon is actually a solar eclipse in your 8th house. Now, the 8th house is all about shared resources. So it covers things like other people's money. That can be loans, mortgages, taxation. In Australia, we say superannuation. I think in the US it's 401k. It's referred to, and that's your savings when you retire from your work. It also covers things like sex, taboo type subjects, intimacy, because you're sharing with somebody else. This is why it's like part of shared resources, because you're sharing your energy with somebody else. Okay, so 2nd and 3rd, the solar eclipse. Then on the 4th, we have Venus joining the Sun in your 7th house of committed relationships. This is beautiful. If you've got a committed relationship with another person, like a marriage or a serious relationship, this casts a really beautiful glow over that relationship. But besides that, it can also be a business relationship that goes particularly smoothly. So working with a close colleague or a partner or somebody you've been with for a fair while and you work together to achieve a goal, that is also important and covered under this influence. So, Venus, it just is all about harmony and contentment and getting the job done if we're referring to business. And in a personal relationship, it's about communication and just being in each other's energy and just feeling the energy of the other person without judgment. So, Venus is very fair, likes to treat people properly and in a fair way. It's not about control or domination or anything like that at all. Also, this is very good energy if you're looking to fall pregnant, because everything else is just going so well in the relationship that anxiety is lifted. And so if you want to be pregnant, this is a great time to fall pregnant too, also around the 4th, okay? So then we go to the 8th of the month, until the 1st of August for Mercury Retrograde. Now, when I say these dates, please remember that on either side of the 8th and the 1st, there's a few days, some people say up to 5 days, where the energy of Mercury Retrograde is coming on or going off. That's called a shadow period. And that can be, it's not in full what would you say? It's not full. The energy's not full, but it's still enough to muck you up in some ways. Mercury retrograde can be about misunderstandings, miscommunications. In Australia, we say you've got the wrong end of the stick. I don't know where that saying comes from, but it's like it's confusion all around, and you know, we think we understand what other people say, and it's, you know, it's just so far off the mark. It also affects technology, so you know, please back up everything. Your internet might go down, your computers, your devices might go haywire. You know, electricity and Mercury retrograde, sometimes there's kind of a problem there. I've even heard about people with having car problems with Mercury retrograde. Okay, so it's in your 8th house. So it's in this house about sex, other people's resources. So it could affect you on, you know, levels about, say, taxation, mortgages, loans, and sexual relationships, taboo subjects, anything that's kind of hidden. It could come out in this time. So if you have a secret that you don't want anyone to know about, and you're kind of hiding, you know, just be aware that during Mercury retrograde, in this particular placement, secrets can be released. Okay, so please don't put sensitive stuff in your phone. You know, hackers are hacking into phones, you know, all the time. So don't put stuff in your phone that, you know, if you're nervous, it's going to go out online. And then it goes in on the 20th. It goes into your 7th house of committed relationships, Mercury. So it can then cause problems in your committed relationships. So this is kind of like just like a bit of a heads up. You don't have to be nervous about it, but what you do have to do is to be extra careful about how you communicate with other people. If you're signing a contract, it's not a good time to start into a new project and you have to sign contracts or agreements and things like that. But it is good to reassess things that you've already done, to complete things that you've already done. You know, those things that are kind of hanging around and you just, you know, wish you'd get it over and done with. This is a great time for completing things there. It's also a time when lovers come back from the past. So a Capricorn ex or a twin flame might even show up on the scene. You might hear news about your ex or exes because Mercury retrograde brings things back from the past. Okay, anything that's not completed, anything that's not healed or wholesome, it will bring it back for you to have another look. And you might need to take some action to, you know, even in yourself. It doesn't necessarily mean go and contact that person or anything like that, although you may, but it's about dealing with it in yourself, feeling all the feelings and not just sort of burying it and you know, trying to forget about it. No, don't try to forget about it. It's come back to you for a reason. And so if an ex comes back, a Capricorn ex comes back, remember why they're an ex. They're not an ex for no reason. There's a reason there, and you need to explore that further and feel all the energy around that. Okay, so you might also be reviewing your arrangements, your financial arrangements concerning other people's money. So that could be loans. You know, you might decide if you've got a loan, you're going to pay more back because you choose to, not necessarily that they're telling you have to, but reviewing and reevaluating what's going on with other people's money or anything where you share resources with another person, okay, or even a company or, you know, an authority figure. The 16th sees a lunar eclipse and it's in your 1st house. This is huge for you. This is all about transformation of your identity in the physical world. Okay, so it's like a new chapter in your book of life is beginning. So absolutely massive, mega time for you, dear courageous Capricorns. So from this, you could change your identity. You could buy new clothes. You could do something with your hair or your makeup or whatever, because you want to appear in the world as you more closely aligned with who you really are. And you might decide that the face that you're putting on to the world, or what you have been doing, is not representing the true, authentic you. So you have a whole new deepening and understanding of your soul and your the reason that you're here on planet Earth at the moment, okay, your mission in life, and you're understanding it much better. So it's only natural that you change your identity. You could clean out your wardrobe, you could clean out your home. You may down the track, probably not now or in July, but down the track as a result of this over the next 6 months, you might think about relocating into a home that better suits your needs, okay, and reflects who you are. Okay, so new clothes, new chapter in your life. And then that brings us to the end of the month. The 23rd sees the sun in your 8th house. The 28th sees Venus in your 8th house. And the 31st sees a new moon also in your 8th house. This is fantastic for sex, okay? Gives you an awareness and insight. It gives you into, why you're having sex or not having sex, whichever. It gives you this beautiful, harmonious, attractive energy to other people, okay? Other people will flock to you because they'll feel this, they want to bask in your glow, okay? That's one way of putting it. It's a whole new time of new beginnings for you. This 8th house with all of this, it's like they're having a party and they've invited you, and you're going to start to understand why you're there, and other people are just absolutely going to be, thrilled. So not only sex, as I said before, could be other people's money or shared resources. If you have a small business, you want a loan, you're likely to get it during this time. Anything to do with money coming your way is, likely to be blessed at the end of the month. Okay, and as I said, twin flames could come back, or, an ex comes back from out of the blue. Now, let's have a look for psychically for Capricorn, July 2019. Okay, so they're showing me here, it's like you're driving along in a car and then you change direction. Okay, so it's like pulling over to the left. It's not so much about you being right anymore. You don't need to be right anymore. You can go to the left and it's more interesting and exciting. You're discovering, Capricorn, that there's more to life than what you ever thought. You're going to change direction in your life. And they're showing me actually picking up passengers. So this has got, pros and cons around it. Pros is it makes the journey more interesting. There's new energy coming in. The only con I can see is be careful they're not backseat drivers telling you what to do with your life. This is certainly to do with the energy within you. This could be energies coming up out of your subconscious, suggesting things in your mind that you go in a certain direction. That's fine. But those energies have no right to tell you what to do, or to try and dominate or control you. Now, that's going on in your subconscious and could be played out in the physical world with people actually. You meet new people and then you find that they're trying to backseat drive. No, it's your life and you're going to run it the way you think fit. I don't think it's a big risk or a big problem, because I see you being more firm and standing your ground. So I don't think that's a huge thing. It makes the journey more interesting. It's like 3 passengers. I'm seeing 2 in the back and 1 in the front. So multiple people, new connections, in for a journey during July and over the next 6 months. Okay, let's have a look here in the tarot and see what comes out in terms of a tarot card. Oh, well, that's interesting because 2 jumped out. Okay, so this is very interesting. I'm going to show you this first one, which is Wands, and it's the 5 of Wands. And this is exactly what I was just saying a moment ago. about being dominated, okay? Stand your ground. Don't fall into the trap of allowing someone to dominate you. And likewise, don't fall into the trap because you are strong and courageous that you dominate anybody else, okay? Either way, domination's not on. This is the 5 of Wands. It's often about disappointment, like your spirit is beat down in some way. Somebody has, broken your spirit. And it's usually, this is like an authority figure standing over you. So this could be to do with a loan. You have to pay it back in a certain way or a certain amount. You need to negotiate with this person, but stand your ground. Don't let them dominate you, okay? So that's the first thing. As I was mentioning, I don't feel it's a big risk, but it is a risk. This next one is the 2nd of Wands. And this person here, you can see, she's got the world as a balloon. The world is there. She can make herself what would you say, available to the world. But I get the sense of financial issues here. She seems to be stuck in a wall that she's built around herself. Wands is usually about inspiration and the kind of energy to, move forward in life. And this woman has built a wall around herself. So it could be isolation, perhaps. In some way you've been isolated, perhaps not joining in with groups. If you're going through a time of healing, that might be fine to do that for a time, but no man is an island, so to speak. So at some point we need to all deal with other people. Isolation can actually be very damaging to the psyche if you do that over a long period. It's likely in July that you're going to have some insight into ways that you isolate yourself, whether that be online and you don't deal with people in the physical world because you're online all the time. That's one sort of interpretation. But yeah, it's up to you. This could also be in financial matters too, that you've isolated yourself, or you built yourself into a difficult situation financially, okay? But the world's there. It's there in the background. There's a whole great big new chapter of your life. You have the opportunity to step out of this in the month of July if this is, if you don't want to do this anymore. So yeah, I would say please take it. Please take the opportunity and be who you truly are. Fix up any issues that you've got, negotiate. You can do it. The energy's there for you for transformation in July. So I just want to encourage you to step out and really try and give it a go, okay? So I don't see it as negative. You see there she's wearing like blue, which could be a bit of sadness, but there's also, she's got a red cape, so there's energy there to change. And you don't have to be stuck in any situation you don't want to be in, okay? All righty. I'll just check in Capricorns, the month of July 2019, that I've got everything else. I've got, I don't know why, but I've got like a saint, sort of a little bit religious kind of feeling here. And blessings. They're sending you upstairs, sending you blessings. The saints, if you believe in an organized religion, the saints are sending you blessings. And even if you don't believe in it, there's still blessings there anyway. So take all the blessings you can get, courageous Capricorns. Thank you so much for listening to me today. It's been a pleasure to read for you. Please, I'd appreciate a like to this video, and also subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell for updates. I'm frequently doing stuff Mondays at 8 o'clock Sydney time. I do pick a card, weekly tarot. Love to see you on that sometime. But have a beautiful month, courageous Capricorns. Okay, bye for now.